And as President Obama exits, the new Congress enters with a long list of priorities. What will bubble to the top? Joining us is Matt Schlapp, former advisor to George W. Bush. Welcome back to the program.
Great to be here, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you. President Obama has issued several last-minute regulations, including one that bans and bars states from withholding federal money from Planned Parenthood. How hard is it going to be for Donald Trump to reverse these decisions?
It's a real case-by-case situation, but in most cases, the President Obama's agenda can simply be erased. He said he had a pen and a phone. Well, guess what? We have an eraser and a delete button. And a lot of his agenda will be gone within the first week of the Trump presidency.
Congressional Republicans and Donald Trump both campaigned on repealing Obamacare. Do you think this is going to be easier said than done? I mean, what do you see as potential roadblocks to this?
Look, the first thing is Obamacare can't be completely repealed. Obamacare is about the way in which we get our health care in this health insurance for health care in this country. And there's a certain amount of that that's just going to be the way the system is. The more obnoxious parts of Obamacare, the questions of religious freedom, and those questions that are actually making our healthcare delivery worse and more expensive will be repealed. And over the course of the next 2 years, we'll have a better idea for what that replacement looks like.
We heard from Representative Chris Smith earlier in the program who talked about this sort of phase-out approach. But what will happen if there isn't a full repeal at the end of this? I mean, is there going to be, what did George W. Bush do when he jumped out of the plane? Mission accomplished?
Yeah.
You know, is there going to be a mission accomplished and then a backlash?
Basically, you can't repeal all of it because there are aspects about the Medicaid system and the Medicare system that will be consistent in the additional piece of legislation that's passed. But the parts that the American people are the most concerned about, the idea that you couldn't keep your doctor, the idea that you have these plans that include everything, including things that are morally repugnant in each of these plans, that you don't get to pick a plan that's right for you and your family. Those are the types of things that will be repealed, and giving states more flexibility and giving the consumer more choice. Those Republican free market ideals will be put back into healthcare.
Democrats say they're targeting 8 of Trump's cabinet nominees. Are they overplaying their hand?
They're going to go after every cabinet nominee and every sub-cabinet nominee they possibly can. They hope to nick a few, and they hope to beat a few. And for the Trump administration, this is a wake-up call. They're going to come after them with everything they've got, and it starts with weakening his broader team, and he's got to be ready for the fight.
Trump and congressional Republicans don't agree on everything, as we saw this morning with Speaker Ryan over the ethics controversy. What do you think are the most likely areas of tension?
I think it's hard to sneak things through anymore in any way. And I think this ethics thing, it wasn't going to be snuck through. That's not fair, but it certainly was done kind of at the last minute. And I think what you see is with President Trump is he's going to have opinions. And guess what he's going to do with those opinions? He's going to express them.
He's going to tweet them.
And he might very well tweet them.
Right.
And they have to deal with the consequences. But let me just tell you, it's okay for Republicans on the Hill to disagree with a Republican president.
Healthy conflict.
That's right. Too much kumbaya is not actually a good thing.
Anybody.
We have a separation of powers, and that's the way the constitutional system is.
Very good. Matt Schlapp, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Lauren.
Former George W. Bush and Trump Catholic Advisory Board member.